We're live, baby. Welcome back to the weekly walk off, smooth as butter on that intro. How about that, boys?
Oh my God.
We like that,
someday. We'll get it someday.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for piping in today. We should have a good showing now that we are streaming live on Twitter. Oh, and I got my own voice in the background in a separate tab, but we're good to go now. So, Nate, what's good?
How's it going, man? Good to be back. 3 weeks, 6-game weeks. Got a lot to talk about. You've had a hell of a run. Looking forward to jumping into some of these lineups.
Oh man, it's been an insane past couple weeks. I don't think I'm gonna get on the podium for the third week in a row, but it's crazy. That's just how it goes, man. I want to start off by there's so many times in the Discord where people are like getting discouraged about lineups and like not placing whatever. And I had the same cards. I just played them differently, and 2 weeks in a row end up on a podium, having one podium prior to that, like in forever. And if we look at especially my rare all-star podium, it's just really a combination of, riding the right hot hands and picking the right guys who are heating up. It's what it comes down to. So,
there's so many top finishes, podium finishes where I look at the lineup and I'm like, I have every one of those cards. I just didn't put them in the right lineup. So to your point, like it really is. It's you just never know when it's going to click.
Yep. So yeah, it's been a fun couple of weeks, and it's been a fun couple of weeks in baseball, man. I mean, what more can we ask for? We're 3 weeks away or 2 weeks away, roughly, from the MLB postseason, which is the best time of the year for sure. We just yesterday got the championship chase format, the breakdown. You know it better than I do. The whole Discord knows it better than I do. It's been a whirlwind of the past 24 hours for me. So I'm going to let you run that section of the show today and just sit back and kind of give my raw thoughts on it. But I know I'm excited about a couple of things that you and I talked about, but we'll get into that for sure. So welcome to the chat, everybody. Let us know how you're doing this game week. Let us know if there's any sweats going on out there, but thanks for being here as always.
Yeah, man, the championship chase came out just in time. It seems like we've gotten pretty lucky. We just decided we wanted to get going again like 3 months ago, and we were just like, let's do every 3 weeks, and everything has just fallen into place where like 2 days before something big happens. So we were pumped. We were complaining earlier in the week that we would have liked to have the championship chase info before we went live here. And then sure enough, we got it. So we will definitely dive into that. We're going to talk about some of the big wins that Eric has had and the smaller wins that I've had. I've been scrapping over here. Have had some success, nothing major. A couple good spots there. And then we're going to dive into the August chase. We'll look at some podiums there and some finishes and talk a little MLB. So where are you feeling like starting today?
Let's take a look at the August chase.
Let's do it.
Might as well start at the beginning, kind of get it warmed up a little bit, and then I think next section would be good to jump into what the champion chase looks like. And especially, I can pull up the playoff picture right now, the postseason picture that I have here with, everything that's kind of unfolding as we speak here. So we'll take a look at the standings. Would love to see in the chat who you all think is going to be, making that wild card. There's a tight race going right now, so it should be fun. Should come down to the wire. I was listening today, I think. The Braves and Mets play each other for a 3-game stint in the very final series of the year. So, here we go.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's going to be a crazy fun, next couple of weeks here. So,
for sure. All right, let's jump into the August chase here. So, Eric and I each had some modest success. Eric a little bit more than myself. I think you took down the $40 bucket, right? Did you come in somewhere between 26th and 50th over there?
36th place overall, yeah. So I
There
took
you
down
go.
$40.
Nice $40 finish there. I was, for as many times as we complain about being 1 or 2 positions out of the money, I came in a clean 100th place in this, the very last cash spot to grab $15. So was happy with that. We'll take it. We'll take all the small wins. They add up over the year. So wasn't mad about that. But as we've seen in the past, DJ Local in the mix, coming in 10th place there, winning $200. We got Astronauts Club with $912 points, taking home $2,000. D Baseball Basketball in second place there, taking down 1,000, and the Iron Pigs rounding out the podium. Let's take a look at this. Can we look at the full leaderboard here?
Break down your strategy for me. Remind me, let's kind of back up going into it, what priority this was for you, and then how you ended up, like how that ended up changing through the life of the August chase. Because mine definitely changed. There's a pivotal point for me, and I'll bring it up here. I have it on the screen in a little bit. But how did it start for you? And then how did it change course throughout the 4 game weeks?
Yeah, it's a good question. I started by not prioritizing this, which I think that we talked about because we were in game week 1 of this on our last stream on August 22nd. So I started by not prioritizing it. And, I have a fair quantity of 2024 cards at this point. So by not prioritizing it, my second lineup still had some decent firepower. J-Ram, Carroll, Duran, Pasquantino. So it wasn't like there was nothing in there, but wasn't the priority. 146th place was still enough that it made me kind of shift my decision back towards the chase. I felt like the 214, it wasn't a great finish, but it was enough for me to shift my focus back to it. So I prioritized it in game week 2, which, as you can see, worked out very well. Zach Wheeler didn't play. 453rd place, 145 points. And so after that finish, I went back to prioritizing Champ. And then I had another okay finish at 192. So nothing crazy there. But by the time it all shook out with those 2 lineups, I think that I did decide ultimately to let's see. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I did decide to balance it out. I must have prioritized it in the final week, or I wouldn't have had Wheeler in there because he's my top 24 pitcher. So decided to put some priority on it. I cleared that 145 score on the first day with this lineup, mostly because of Adames, and ended up having a 33rd place finish in that final week, which was enough to sneak me into the money. So I went back and forth. It was not a commitment like it was in the July chase. So I went back and forth, and I think that my second lineup in between what I was prioritizing was the better lineup each week. So just, you never know how it's going to shake out. And, I think that they were close, but yeah, it was not my priority, but I fell into a little bit of money anyway.
Nice. Yeah. Same here. Very similar story. I mean, we both did not start. Let me remove this real quick before I kind of get into it, but we both didn't start it off as a priority. And, that changed for me. That didn't change for me until game week 3 out of 4, which is the coolest part about this. And the same thing kind of happened in the July chase with the big prizes. It's like 1 week can really, really carry you. Mm-hmm. That week for me, shout out to the Padres for just coming through and Manny Machado. But like, this was the lineup right here, and of course, Olsen in there with the 104, really kind of set it off for me, and then allowed me to kind of pull home a strong finish at the end too. Took 29th in the last game week, 7th and third of 4. And then my other one, 185th, only 200 points, 198. So a lot of Padres going on in here. Tried to stack, and get some solid players. I knew I had a solid chance. They were hot. But yeah, this Olsen 104 was huge. And in the July chase too, it was Lindor who had 100 plus. in one game week that really kind of like put me over the edge too. So, I mean, this is a great lineup, even with Olsen at a 50 or a 40. You know what I mean? It's like 270. You're not complaining about that any week at all. So, but yeah, that's kind of what it took to get it done. And it was super fun. $40 goes a long way, especially these days on auction.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how the August chase went for me.
Yeah, dude, you've been on an absolute, we didn't know that was the precursor, but that was the start to the heater that you've been on over the last 3 weeks. It's insane. I can't wait to look at a couple more lineups that I know a lot of our watchers are aware of already, but yeah, you've been putting the right cards in the right spots over the last couple weeks. So
it does feel good, man. It feels good. It was kind of like your early season wins, right? Yeah. When you got your gunner and your wit. It's funny how things like, you know, the dynamic's a little bit different at the end of the season, right? When you earn it in the beginning of the season, you get a lot more use out of it, maybe less liquid if you're looking to sell, but like, you know, it could be really good to have this stuff going into the playoff chase here, especially with what was able to kind of pull through. So yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Just kind of rounding out the August chase here. Pull this back up real quick. So still on the limited chase. Shout out to Link, a frequent flyer among the leaderboard. Link took down 6th place. We got DJ Local here in 10th. We got Jump Shoot here in 12th. Guys that are just frequently up the top. The Jump in 18th. See, we'll go one more page and then we'll go over to Rare. What else we got here? There you are, 36th place, 782 points. So yeah, it was the chases are fun, man. I think we've said that over and over again. It's a great variation of So Rare. So Rare at the end of the day is meant to be these mini contests that only last a few days, but having that full chase it's fun. It's a nice added element. We won't dive as deep into Rare through Unique because you and I didn't participate in those, so not as much to speak to, but worth shouting out DJ Local for taking down the Rare August chase, $3,000 first prize. Zuby taking down $2,000, and there, Link again, $1,000 in 3rd place. So nice podium there. And then, as we stated in the July chase, Jewy 12218 or July or however you say this, I don't know. It's July without an L. Taking down 1st place in Super Rare for $5K and taking down 1st place in Unique for $7.5K. So $12,500 across those 2 contests. And, you know, obviously those cards are not cheap to have a collection around, but so many fewer people that you're competing against. And he clearly has figured out how to cash on those. So, you know, the Unique level, it's an intriguing one. There's less than 10 people, I'm pretty sure, competing at that level with top prizes of that nature. And, you know, you can make a lineup for $7,500. So the fact that you could recoup that in one contest, it's a big if, and obviously you have to have the stake to sit at the table, but it's pretty cool. It's so intriguing. I wish that I could be part of it. It's the most unique version of fantasy sports I've ever seen. It's quite the elite club that they have competing at that level.
It's crazy. It's like a dynasty league that you're chipping in thousands of dollars to participate in each year. So It's super cool, super fun. And you're right. I think it's the most unique style of fantasy format that I've seen also. So Unique suits its own name. Yeah. Awesome, man. Cool. Thanks for breaking down the August chase. I want to shout out a couple people in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Aaron, welcome in. Borland, welcome in. Jump, what's good? Clamp, what's going on? Jacob, welcome. Miguel, and Jump Shoot again.
Nice. Appreciate everybody being here. Glad that we're connected to Twitter. Thanks everybody coming in through Twitter. Finally got that sorted out. Glad that we did. You know, we're working through the kinks here. We'll get there. We'll figure out what we're doing eventually.
We're wiping the dust off. We're cleaning the rust. You know, we were every weekers last year. Now we're once every 3.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Sure.
All right. So do we want to before we jump into our wins, should we take a look at the championship chase here?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'll let you drive. I'll let you drive on that one.
Okay.
Zoom in if you can.
There we go.
Perfect. Money.
All right. So for those who aren't aware or are new this year, didn't participate last year, Championship Chase works very similarly to the monthly chases. The monthly chases were a spinoff of the very first chase, which was the Championship Chase last year. So we had two versions of this last year. We had the the pro level and the all-star level. All cards could be played. There was no in-season requirement with any contest last year. This year, we still have 2 limited contests, 2 rare contests, 2 super rare, etc. But the way that it's broken out this year is going to be similarly to champion. Let's call it limited champion versus limited pro. So limited, the championship chase that is requiring the in-season cards is going to have the same 6 in-season, 1 classic breakdown. And then let's see, I'll pull up the actual, what are we calling it? Yeah, so champion versus, I want to say it's pro, but I'll get down there in a minute. So one of these chases, you can use any classic cards, same as last year. The other one is going to follow those same guidelines as the weekly champion contest that we have all gotten used to this year. Another change is that these game weeks, I believe, are a little bit truncated. So we had some extended game weeks, I should say, last year, which we still have for the World Series, where we will have some really big scores. But they kept it relatively short. Correct me if I'm wrong. Were these longer last year?
I believe so, to be honest. It was a little bit longer. I mean, we even got some double starting pitchers in there, which was just the sickest thing ever. I mean, it was amazing to have 2 starts for a pitcher count against towards your score. That was fun. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like they were a little bit longer. Were there 6 weeks though? I guess that answers the question pretty simply. You know, like if there were 6 weeks, then it's probably about the same. If not, then
I wish that we could go back and see last year's game weeks, but
for those of you who have a good memory, let us know in the chat if you know the answer.
Yeah. Game week 3 definitely could be interesting if there are some sweeps. That is part of what is crazy about these. So wild card round should be relatively straightforward. Although, again, if you see a series going 3 games versus 2, it's an advantage. The longer the series, the more games that get played. Game week 1, you're not going to have the division winners. So those top teams won't even be in play. So there's a lot of unique strategy that goes into this that's unlike what we've been playing throughout the regular season. So it's definitely worth taking a look at, you know, how you want to play that and how you see those series playing out. The series that you see going the distance that are a little bit more evenly matched, even if the players aren't quite as good as we've seen in game weeks where a team might have 5 games, there's an advantage to just having that volume. So more chances at hitting higher point totals. So you don't have to do it all in one game. Let's take a look at the rewards. So again, this is the limited champion chase. This is going to require 6 in-season cards, and then you'll have the option to put 1 classic. And not only is there going to be a final cash prize for the leaderboard, but there's also going to be cash prizes for each individual game week, which is wild. So got the same $500 that we're used to for first place each of those 6 game weeks. I also should mention that unlike last year's championship chase, which I believe you had to use every single entry, we do get to drop one similarly to the monthly chases that we've had. So of those 6 game weeks, your lowest score will get dropped.
That's a big change.
Yeah, I think it's a good change. I like that. It takes that one bad week out of it. If you can still pull together 5 out of 6, that's pretty good. It's still a lot more challenging than 3 out of 4. This is the best thing that Sorare MLB has built. It's the most fun that we had last year. I can't wait to do it this year. I don't know what my prioritization is going to be yet. But this format is really, really cool. And it's not for the small collection, although you can pick a horse and hope that they get all the way there. But this really is a war of attrition where as teams drop off, you lose cards that are eligible to compete. And the bigger collections that have access to more cards, it plays a much bigger role in these chases. You can still do it if you pick the right teams. I got lucky last year. I did not have a massive collection, but I bought a bunch of Rangers to start the year, and the Rangers won the World Series, and sure enough, it worked out. So I had enough Diamondbacks to mix in there, and I was able to compete. So, all right, Jump Shoot says similar. Cool. But yeah, so $500 to first place for each individual game week, and so on and so forth. Pretty similar to what we've grown accustomed to. I think it might actually be identical. But then we've got rare as well. I know we touch mostly on limited on this show, but same breakout for the weekly game weeks. But then we also have the cumulative. So $6,500 in limited champion cumulative.
Ooh,
that's a big prize. That's the biggest prize we've seen for a first place in any contest so far at the limited level. Second place taking home $3,000, third place $1,500, fourth and fifth with $500. I mean, you can read the rest there. So pretty impressive leaderboard prize structure here. Nothing to be mad about. I think that is going to drive a lot of interest into gathering these cards, and we should see some significant market movement once teams get knocked out and we see teams advance to an additional round. You're going to see those cards start to spike. You'll have decisions to make. You and I both simultaneously competed and sold cards last year. When you have opportunities that the market gets moving, gets liquid, it's hard to deny that. We both have cards in our collections that will set it and forget it. They're not going anywhere, but there will be certain one-off cards that I'll have to make a decision. Do I optimize my lineup, or do I take a little bit of liquidity? So it's part of the fun of it as well. Did you have something you want to jump in on?
Yeah, man, it's epic. I think it's such a good format. And just to kind of touch on your, the bigger collections are going to, a lot of times do better. I think about us last year. We didn't really have big collections last year, you and I. I think back to like one of my most important moves last year is when it comes down to these types of lineups, there are players who show up for the postseason and make a difference that aren't the typical guys. I mean, like Jose Abreu last postseason for me, like, remember he just was on fire for that, little stretch of time. Like that was a $4 card that I had picked up like amidst all the postseason. Mm-hmm. So there's little things in there that you can do if you pick the right guy, if you're watching, if you like matchups, if you pick the right guy that heats up at the right time. I mean, like there's so much that you can do to have fun and play and compete. Like who knows that it's going to be, I mean, it's most likely going to be Shohei, but why not Gavin Lux or Will Smith? Like those guys could have just as big an impact as Shohei.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying that they will, or that they should, but they definitely could, at a fraction of the cost. So look, that's why it's so fun. It's baseball, it's like, I'm so excited. Like I'm fired up because there's a lot of people I know in the Discord that didn't play last year at all. So buckle up, boys. It's going to be a blast. Nate's going to get another Soto ball. I'm going to get I'm gonna get $6,500.
Yeah. Yeah. No signed baseballs in play this year. It's cash on the champion side, and it is cards on the pro side, I want to call it. But let's see. Let's keep scrolling here. So rare champion cum is going to be $8,500 to first place. That's a massive first through fifth, leaderboard there. Super rare, $12,000 to first place, top 5 positions getting paid out. And then unique is going to get $20,000. There are only 7 or 8 people playing in this bracket, and the podium is going to get paid out, and first place is getting $20,000. That's good for 10 to 15 unique cards. Like that goes a long way. So that's a massive, massive prize pool. Very cool. And yeah, okay, so it is called Pro. So these are the Pro tier is going to be awarding prizes the same way that the limited Pro contest goes. So it's the same structure that we're used to. We've got a cash prize pool that's based off of in-season card prioritization, and then we've got our classic card contest that's going to reward cards. So same as the champion contest, where you've got cash prizes for each game week and then cum prizes at the end. You've also got regular cards going out each game week for Pro, and it's the same structure. Actually, no, it's a little bit better structure than we're used to. So we've got limited star 1 through 20, which is very cool.
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah. So this is just game week to game week. This isn't even the Hume. So you're looking at, a top 60 finish is going to get you a tier 1 card. So very cool there. You're getting a standard box all the way up to 600th place. So lots of prizes getting given out here. And then Rare Pro, we got Rare Star 1 through 8. And Super Rare, you've got T1 1 through 3. So no stars there. And Unique. Interesting. So, okay. Sorry. I wasn't looking at it right. You get that both for rank 1. So Super Rare tier 1 and a Unique tier 2 there. And then going into the cumulative prizes, limited Pro, this is where we get to the special edition cards. So these are going to be special edition postseason reward cards. They did this last year, and it's going to have a special border on it. We don't know what it's going to look like yet, but it's going to be a very unique prize. It's going to, I would imagine, come with an added collector bonus the way that it did last year, and just kind of a cool trophy. At the end of the day, we're still playing for some trophies over here. So I've got my playoff Jordan from last year that isn't going anywhere. I love it. It's cool. It's cool to have in the collection. And I got a Sunny Gray as well from the common contest. But yeah, these should be really cool. Again, limited star 1 through 25, which is a nice top prize pool there. Obviously, it's going to be, the first place finish is going to get a much better card than 25th, but a star nonetheless. Tier 1 through 75th place, tier 2 through 125, tier 3 through 200, and all the way through position 275, you could get one of those special edition cards. So, yeah. You got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, those are epic because last year, remember at this point, we didn't even know what special edition meant towards a collection score. We didn't have a collection score yet.
Right.
So that wasn't even laid out at this time. And now it is. And, it's probably going to incentivize people to keep it even more. I mean, any star tier player is going to be so cool to have, like, in a top 25 star tier is incredible. And honestly, like, as it goes through each game week, like, there will be less people playing. Keep that in mind. So, like, the top 20 is going to get more and more attainable every single week to get a star. So play. I mean, like, I was getting fired up about a potential star tier player, this game week. I'm in tier 1 right now. But like number 11 or 12, I geeked out on it so much that I was like, like going down the rabbit hole that much. But I think like number 11 or 12 was like Corbin Carroll last week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, sign me up. Let me get it. Let me get into that star tier. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So it's gonna be a ton of fun. We got a question from Jacob. So Jacob wants to know about getting a Scooble, right? And he noticed that the price dipped, but it's going back up. Should you wait until the Tigers are not in contention anymore? They're not in contention. They're out.
No, they're in contention. They're in contention.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, oh yeah. Unfortunately.
Wow.
They're right in it with here, I'll pull up the standings here.
I got it here.
So we got the Tigers are actually the most likely to pass the Twins at the given moment. Red Sox 4 games back, Mariners 4 games back, and Tigers 3.5 games back. So
yeah.
But yeah, sorry, continue.
No, my bad. That shows how out of it in the past 7 days. Yeah, I would wait. If you want, Jacob, if you want a Scooble, and you're not going to be playing, like I would pack it in and save it for next year in the off season, when the price really, really dips, in my opinion, because that's going to be, especially if they make that first round, that thing's going to be through the moon. You're probably going to be buying it at his peak. So, I mean, guys, that's just how it's going to work out. Interesting.
Got to be frustrating to be a Tigers fan and to have dealt Flaherty. I mean, nobody batted an eyelash when they did that. It was the right move at the time, but man, it's got to be tough to be a fan of a team that gets to this point and they were sellers at the deadline.
Who's driving that ship on this heat streak? Is it
I honestly don't know.
Let me see here. Riley Green, Colt Keith ripping up? I mean, like, we gotta look into that. I'm sorry I don't follow the Tigers much. Maybe I should be, but type it in there. Let us know.
I'm only aware of it because I'm painfully watching the Red Sox fizzle out to end the year, and the Tigers are part of that conversation. So, yeah. So yeah, that's that. We can take a quick spin through the rest of these prizes. Rare Pro, star tier 1 through 8. Super Rare Pro, you got a tier 1 through 3. And Unique Pro, tier 2 at rank number 1. So that's what you got there. That's the gist of it. You've got 2 per. I saw some desires for a mixed contest. I know that last year, the Rare All-Star, you were able to play, same as Rare All-Star in the current season. Same with the championship chase. You could use limited cards and rare cards. That would have been fun. I would have enjoyed that. I've got enough Diamondbacks to at least, hope that they take a run. But there will be no mixed contest this year. It's going to be 2 of each rarity tier. Although, you know what? There is common. Forgot. Didn't scroll all the way down. Pull this up real quick. They are doing common. So we've got limited star 1 through 3. I believe that this is the game week rewards. Yeah. Okay. So game week rewards. So the 6 game weeks at the common level, you've got the same structure as we're used to. Stars 1 through 3, top 100 spots getting a limited card. And then for the Cume on the whole contest, you got stars going to 1 through 5 and top 125 overall. These will also be special edition cards. So honestly, it'll just be cool to get any 1 through 25 on the free contest to grab a special edition. I finished somewhere around 20th in this last year and ended up with a Sonny Gray. I don't have anything around him in that collection, but I refuse to get rid of it because they're cool. I want them. It's a trophy.
That's such a sick card. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the championship chase. Looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun. Should be able to compete in one or the other. We'll see which teams go. There is a war of attrition there, but like you said, there are lower end guys that you just never know who's going to pop. So if you don't have the bankroll to have everybody, go find those, the Eugenio Suarez, the Jock Peterson, like the guys that if they go, they really go, but they don't cost too much.
Yep. Are you ready to unleash the coins or what? This is the time, boys. Hopefully you've been training your boys.
For sure.
Hopefully the boys have been in those training lineups. You haven't been sleeping on those. You got boosts and you got also swaps too, man. I'm all about using 100 coins for a swap. I mean, especially for something like this, when there's a chase involved, if I don't like who I'm looking at, I'll just throw another swap in there, dude. It's just 100 coins,
Well, especially as we progress deeper into the common chase, like using 100 coins for those swaps is definitely a savvy move without a doubt. Going to be a ton of fun. No doubt about it. Going to be a ton of fun. I'm very interested to see what the market does because we are obviously in like an unprecedented dip right now.
Yeah.
Things are crazy low, especially non-playoff teams, but even playoff teams. I mean, you can get a Bryce Harper in season for $50 right now. Like that's crazy. I'm not really sure what to make of that. I do think that we will see spikes as teams advance. To what extent? No idea. We saw movement in the market last chase, and we'll see. Obviously we'll see bigger spikes on the in-season cards because there's just a lower pop on those. But I think that it's going to be some interesting movement regardless. And even if not a big spike, liquidity without a doubt, because people are going to want to be moving in and out of their pieces. So looking forward to keeping tabs on that and seeing what all this action does to the market and how people decide to progress through these chases.
Yep. It's going to be fun, man. It's about the time too. I mean, we were talking about this over text the other day, but like, I think it's about the time that the collection scores are going to come into place too. There's been more movement lately on the cheaper cards, right? Just to build up going into the postseason. I counted 90 days back so that the 90 days kind of started to come due immediately. And like with 90 days to October 1st, I was making a bunch of buys or trades that were going to pay off like just by then. So stuff's really starting to come along. Borland makes a good point here too. Some people are going to pack it in, start selling stuff and getting liquid for NBA. I think Dean had said it earlier on that the soccer reveal has been amazing. I've seen some of the cards. I like them a lot. Jump's been posting them up in the Discord. And if you're not in the Discord, boys, jump in the Discord. Come hang out with us. It's a good time in there. Just so many good people chopping it up like all day long. So jump in the Discord. I can throw the link in here in the chat later. I know there's a lot of people watching right now. So what was I going to say?
Jump in the Discord, follow the YouTube, like the video. If you are willing to just click that little thumbs up, it honestly goes a long way. So appreciate if you're here. Appreciate if you click that little thumb. Hit the thumb.
Let's go.
Hit the thumb.
Go, thumbs up, baby. All right. What's next? What are we doing? We're gonna look at
it's your turn. It's your turn now. Let's talk about the dubs.
All right, let's talk some dubs.
Pull up some dubs.
Let's talk some dubs. It's been an epic week, and the storylines to these aren't as crazy as my Bobby Witt one. Like when I won the Bobby Witt, my first podium ever, top of the podium, came down to a Jack Flaherty game against your Sox, and the 5 points for the win, put me over the top, which was insane. I think the guy that I went on top of was the guy who won the last August chase, Astronauts maybe. What's his name? But anyways, I think that's who I had jumped with that win. But I was able to pull a lineup here that was kind of crazy. And this is, this has always been my favorite contest, and I think it's the one that I've been the most successful in too, because it's more so just my screw it lineup. Like I'm gonna play this guy. I don't have to worry about playing like the star players. But look at who I got in this lineup here. This is second place overall. 342 points. Schwarber is a big one for me. That's like one of my favorite, rare cards to play just because of the upside that he has in any given game week. And when he's cold, he's cold. This dude will get you a -6 on a week, but he'll also get you 100. So that's when you play him in the right spot and nobody else is playing him, I think that single piece alone was the differentiator in this lineup.
Yeah.
No one was playing Schwarber at the time, and he went crazy after that. Suarez too. This card was you bought this card, Nate, for $8 or something like that, right? And I bought it for 18 and thought it was a good deal, and things started going down. But 69 points, this dude is on a podium. How could you be mad about spending $10 on a card that could end up landing you on a podium? And he's heating up at the right time. Lindor has just been MVP. I honestly give it to him. Whatever. Give it to him or Shohei. Flip a coin. Make him co-MVPs. Lindor is my boy.
It's a fun conversation, but it's tough to argue with 50-50.
100%. Hasn't done it yet, but he will. It's ridiculous. When you play Duran, right, it feels so good. It just feels so good. This guy, when he can get you 2 saves in one game week, that's always going to turn out for something pretty good. I think he's been on I'll have to double check this. I know he was in my last podium. I don't know if he's actually in the other podium that I'll show you in a second. But I decided to go Logan Gilbert as the only card here, and I wonder if I would have put Flaherty in there and just trusted Flaherty a little bit more. If that extra, I haven't even looked at this yet.
Click into it. Does +7 do it for you?
7 points. I think it would have. I definitely think it would have. Oh yeah, I was behind 4 points.
Oof.
Oh, brutal.
We'll still take it. Still take it.
I'll still take it.
So what was the prize on that one?
Bang.
Boom.
Trey Turner. And he's been on fire too. So always good to have Trey. I mean, at this point in the season, you cross your fingers, send up a prayer for somebody that's, on a team like that. Like what more can you ask for in the heart of the Phillies lineup? And you know how clutch Trey is, So that was an awesome
great card going into playoffs too.
What's that? It's a great card going into playoffs. So that was the addition for second place. In Rare All-Star. I didn't even check to see what first got, but now that I know I could have had Flaherty in there and taken first, then I'm definitely not going to check. So
yeah, don't go check. Don't go check.
What else we got? The next one made up for it, hands down. I honestly like the next lineup that I'll go through. Like, it's crazy that one ended up on top of the podium, and this was a cool story too because this one got off to a hot start on a Friday, and I literally never looked back. I think I dropped to 6th place as like the lowest throughout the entire weekend.
Gotta love the wire to wire.
Yeah, wire to wire, baby. Where are we at? Where's she at? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So I got off to a good start. Wheeler was the Friday start. King, I think, was a Friday or Saturday start. I forget.
It was Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Altuve and Jordan came out banging. Schwarber came out banging. Devers and J-Ram didn't really need you guys because the rest of the guys carried it. And it was just sick. I mean, I was in second place and I was sitting at the airport at the terminal, and Altuve comes up for his last at bat, and I was down like 3 points or something like that. Doubles. Here we go. I'll take it.
Back-to-back game weeks, dude. Crazy.
Super epic. It was crazy. So Altuve, that was amazing. I kind of took a quick look before I got on the plane. I was like, dude, I don't think there's any chance that is behind me. And I think there was still maybe one more game. Because I don't think that was the late game. I think the Diamondbacks were still there, but just nobody had played them behind me. So
I don't remember.
But anyways, man, that was so epic. And then for that one,
not the Mookie,
not the Mookie, Shohei right here.
Shohei and Perdomo.
And I was going through it, and I was like, okay, like 5 of the last 6 weeks were Judge. There was an Ohtani in there. I was like, give me Ohtani. And it was Ohtani, man. It was great, and I got this Perdomo to go with it. This was a big buy that I made earlier that weekend. So these two are going to be hopefully carrying me through the postseason chase here. But yeah, so sick. Now that's my second Ohtani. This one has a trophy on it. The other one doesn't. We'll see what I do with them. But
hats off, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank
nice
you,
little
sir.
stretch there.
Let's stay hot.
That's why we're playing, man. It's a rush. It's a rush when you get on that podium. It really is. It's fun.
Unreal. I mean, we talked about this too, and I'll bring it up real quick, but like, sometimes it's frustrating with the prize structures, right? I mean, you've been in your situations that you've been frustrated with it. So have I. I really think that they handle the pro contest really, really well. So limited pro, I mean, we always debate going back and forth whether or not we want to do, pro, NL, AL, throw all-star in there, like really what your lineups are kind of looking like this week. And, pro's the one that I always have my eye set on, because of the top tier prizes that they crank out. But they do a good job with that contest. It landed like it should have. I mean, Ohtani was first, second place got a Soto, and third place got Bobby Witt Jr. right now. Like, that's a win all around on the podium.
For sure.
I wouldn't have been mad at Bobby Witt or Soto at first, like, but it's got to be Ohtani or Judge, obviously.
The weird stuff seems to happen at the bottom ends of tiers, not typically at the top. It seems to be pretty consistently good on the, the podiums. Again, to your point, it seems that pro, and we know that pro gets the best prizes and there's a trickle down from there. So understood. But it does seem like when you look at the top 10 prizes in pro, they get it right pretty consistently.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, top 10. I mean, I think, guys were still going like, I think Gunnar was like 5 this week or something like that. Yeah. And like just top tier dudes all the way down. So that's definitely, if you're looking to put all your eggs in one basket and you're shooting for the moon, shoot it in pro.
For sure. Let me pull up. I did not have the same stretch as Eric. I've had some modest W's, but I did manage to pull down one podium. Let me find it here. Where is it?
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Oh,
there it is. Sandlot, baby.
There we go.
The $1 podium.
Holla, holla, $1.
So no big deal. Didn't really want second place. Wouldn't have known what to do with the $5. So shout out to Ariel Zil FC. I'll stick with my 1. Didn't need the 5, but it's a podium. So, we'll take it. It's not Trey Turner rare. It's not Ohtani limited, but it is a podium. So, little notch on my belt.
It'd be cool if you got like a coin or like a dollar bill with a trophy under it to signify a podium.
Give me something. So that was my podium. I've been scrapping over the last 6 game weeks. I've won about $60. I did have some success with reverse power, a couple $10 finishes there. So back to back. Yeah. So right on the bubble, 49th in the second game week there, 35th in the first one. So had some success. Bought a Luis Arias Classic for $4 at the start of that. Decided I was going to try and compete in it and just decided that would be my set it and forget it classic for both of them. Scraped together a handful of $5 finishes in champ. And then my best finish was, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Took down 8th place in AL a couple game weeks ago and grabbed a limited Trey Turner. So I've won limited Bryce, Trey, Castellanos, and Marsh. And I bought Schwarber and Wheeler. So I've got a nice little set of 2024 Phillies going into the postseason. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing with that. But yeah, this was my best actual finish other than the Sandlot podium. The lot is hot, as Jumpsuit says.
Seager was so on fire before he got hurt again.
He was, dude. He really was. Very unfortunate. I won 2 of his card this year. When I won the first one, it was worth like $45-50. And when I won the second one, it was worth like $30. And ended up selling them both because I already had one and I didn't want 3 of a card. I think I got like a combined $35 for the 2 of them. It's just, it's rough, man. The Rangers I'm not complaining. They won me a lot last year. Can't win them all. But man, the fall from the top was rough for the Rangers.
They were so disappointing, and the Diamondbacks were looking like the same thing, but they pulled it together. So, I mean, they had a different second half.
Yep.
So, congrats on that finish, man. That's a sick one. Trey.
Thank you. This was a unique one. This was the game week where there were a lot of 5-game players, and then Seager was my wild card. I plugged him in there despite only having 3 games. So everybody else Garcia, Varsho, Springer, and Melendez all had 5 games. So it was a unique one. But yeah, we'll take the limited tray. It's a nice prize. I did manage to grab my first limited card in a common contest. So grab the tier 4 there with a little luck in common. Those are always fun. Not a valuable prize, but like I said, we play for trophies too. I like taking down some of those tougher contests. There's nothing tougher than cashing in the common all-star. So that was cool. Yeah, so little this, little that. About $60, 8 cards, a dozen boxes, scraping it together. We'll take it.
We'll take it. Thank you, Jump. One that's familiar with the podiums. We appreciate you.
Very familiar.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it's been a fun couple weeks, and let's keep it hot. Let's keep it rolling. All you boys in the Discord too. Let's get on some podiums. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Yeah, you want to take a look at that?
Take it home with some MLB.
Take it home with some MLB. Man, this is gonna be so damn fun. It's gonna be. I'm just getting hyped, man. We are a couple weeks away, and this is what the picture looks like today. I believe. I think this is refreshed. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to swap out that Twins logo for a Red Sox logo, but we'll get there when we get there.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Giants are coming in. No, just kidding. But yeah, man, it's the Yankees right now are the 1 seed. Cleveland at 2, Houston at 3, Twins at 4. Twins at 6, Orioles at 4, KC at 5. Man, that's pretty awesome to see. Yeah. A little bit of some older teams, newer teams in there. Twins have been consistent. They were in it last year. Astros, obviously. Guardians, Royals and Yankees, but it's cool to see KC in there as of now. This is looking pretty familiar. Maybe the exact same minus the Braves. Am I right? Exact same minus the Braves.
I think so.
So that is going to be fun to see how it plays out. Like I mentioned earlier, the Braves and the Mets got a 3-game series to finish off the season, and so do the Padres and the D-backs. So
very cool.
That's going to be sick. It's like the playoffs coming early. So
yeah.
What do we got here in terms of let me see here. I was creeping the Tigers. Tigers are 3.5 games out. Twins are looking nice. Boston's still in. Seattle's still in. And then we got Arizona. Things are just tightening up here, man. It looked like Arizona was running away with it. Now it's looks pretty even. So
yeah, any one of the 4 of those teams could be the odd man out, which is pretty wild.
That's really wild. Who gets hot at the right time?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh man, baseball is great. I love this.
It is. This is why they play 162 games.
Yep.
Because of this at the end. It's epic. Oh man. Nothing beats it.
My Royals call seems to have fizzled out. They flew so close to the sun. They got it back to even, and then they went back the other direction. Guardians have stayed hot. Credit to them. Still looking like the Royals will make the playoffs, but losing Pasquantino is tough.
Yep, losing Pasquantino is a huge one. I mean, but they made some of those trades that they made have been great for them too. Yep. They got I think DeYoung's been playing really good. Yep. And then also, of course, Ursig. So,
and then they get Harvey, right?
They got Harvey too
from Washington.
Is he still out on the IL though? I don't know. I haven't been really paying attention to him, but
I don't know.
He got banged up. Yeah, Pasquantino injury was rough, but they're still going, man. Fueled by Bobby. 6-game Twins are 6 games back, but they're still hanging on that wild card spot, man. It caps off to the AL Central, man.
Seriously. Impressive.
Pretty nice. Man, the Mets and Braves, this is crazy. And the Phillies just being able to hang on and continue rolling through the season. I thought they were going to lose some steam when they had some injuries going.
I mean, they had a rough stretch, but they just had such a commanding lead that they were able to ride it out.
Yeah. Dodgers right on their tail too for that first seed. Like, who would you even want to be in this situation right here? Like, would you want to play the Padres, or would you want to play? Oh, you definitely want to be in the 2 seed right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we get to see. It'd be cool to see Phillies Padres again.
I mean, the Diamondbacks are as hot as
years ago was
anybody
electric. Yeah, they are.
They look really good. I mean, they're getting contributions from everybody. Carroll is playing like a star. Suarez is red hot. He's been homering for a month straight. Jock Peterson is real good against righties. Christian Walker just came back. Ketel Marte just came back. I mean, they were the hottest team in baseball without Marte and Walker.
Yeah.
And now those guys are back. So Diamondbacks are scary. They're proving that they weren't a fluke for making the series last year. Their record was what it was, but there is a lot of talent on that team.
I mean, I think at the very least they drop down to the 6th spot. And then that would be, I mean, and the Dodgers and Phillies could flip-flop too, which is crazy that even with these two guys right here, every single game matters to this point, you know? I mean, same. And this 1-4 is a huge swing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
They're either 1 or they're 4. You know, that's how close everything is over here too.
Yep.
So yeah, 1 down to 4.
Yeah. It's, man, I think that watching the Orioles in whatever their first round ends up being is going to be one of the most interesting storylines. If they get bounced in the first round again, it's like, you know, I know that they've got years of talent to go, but as a fan of that team, you have to imagine that they're itching for something to actually gain traction. You know, it's real fun to have a good regular season, but that in a quarter will get you a gumball. You know what I mean? Like you gotta show up when it matters. And it's I'm really interested to see what the Orioles do when it comes playoff time.
Same. That's going to be fun to watch, man. I don't know. Burns is going to need to bring his A stuff. Obviously, I mean, pitching is going to be so crucial.
Yeah. You know? Getting Eflin was good.
I mean,
you know, Grayson Rodriguez, hopefully he can get healthy and come back and help them. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Who do you got? What are you thinking right now?
Man,
I want to see it in the chat too. What are you guys thinking? I don't know.
I'm picking the NL, you know, between the two. I'm picking the NL. Like the Dodgers and the Phillies are both just nasty. The depth is crazy. The star power is crazy. But at the same time, the Brewers are legit. The Diamondbacks are legit. The Padres are legit. Like, don't let the Mets get hot. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's scary to me. I think that I undervalue the Twins, the Guardians, and the Royals because they've all just they've been jockeying for first place in a okay division for so long, but like that just isn't the case this year. All three of them are really good. The only knock that I've seen against the Twins is that if you look at their record against the MLB compared to the Chicago White Sox, it's like the White Sox are the whole delta in their like win or their wins above 500. So we'll see what they do. I'm not as excited about them, but the Royals are legit. The Guardians have been doing it wire to wire. I mean, the Astros are where we figured the Astros were going to be despite their terrible start. Yeah.
Framber has been lights out lately, man.
Unreal.
He's been so good. And Kikuchi going there too.
Yep.
Like I would be, you know, that would be one of the last teams that I want to play with the way that those guys are throwing right now and the pedigree that they have.
And Jordan hits home runs in batches only. Like he doesn't hit one without hitting two. It's crazy.
I know. Yeah, Framber has been incredible, but I mean, geez, there's just so many of these guys. It's like, I don't know. I mean, luckily I'm loaded on the Dodgers. but I'm loaded on the Dodgers. I'm loaded on the Mets. Braves look pretty good, and Padres look pretty good too. I've got 0 Diamondbacks, so I'm in a whole lot of trouble if that goes down. But everyone else, I think I'm looking all right. I've never had any bats on the Twins because guys who, when they mix up the lineup that much, even the Giants, it's too much for my brain.
Yeah.
More simple.
Yep.
But man, but the Twins rake. They just, whoever's in there. They probably got to blow out teams just as much as anybody else blows out teams.
Yep.
I wonder what their run differential is.
Yeah, I've got a ton of exposure to the Diamondbacks. I've got classics, I've got 24s, I've got rares. Not that the rares are going to do me anything, but I guess maybe if they make a run, I might have some liquidity. Not that I really want to get rid of those. I kind of like that's my Moneyball strat was the Diamondbacks, and boy, did I buy them all at the right time, huh? They were one of the worst teams in baseball, and I was like, I kind of like what I see here. We'll take the upside. We'll buy low. It's worked out. But yeah, my horses, as I've talked about on our previous streams, Orioles, in terms of my 2024 in-season cards, the Orioles, the Royals, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, and the Phillies.
Orioles, Royals, Mets, Diamondbacks, Phillies. Yeah, solid.
And some smatterings around, but those are the ones where I got bigger shares.
Mine are mixed up when it comes to Classic. I've pretty much siloed Classic and in season to specific teams at this point. I've been working on that, as part of the collection for the whole season, and kind of been trading in and out which ones I'm going Classic, which ones I'm going in season. But I got a mixed bag across the board. So definitely will be fun, man. What do we think about Paw Patrol?
Honestly, I have no, I know that it's a thing. I know that he had like a feature. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. I really haven't even looked into it.
Please, we'll save it for the Discord, but like the stats of Judge since he's
that
been
I've seen. That I read that.
Absurd.
Yeah.
So I had to throw that out there.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, and it's proving true again with McCaffrey too.
Yeah.
Insane, man. What else? We got anything else, or we wrapping? I got the MVP odds pulled up here if we want to take a look at these. If you guys want to hear anything in the chat, I think we're close to wrapping up. We had a couple other things on the agenda. I'm down to talk about them for a few minutes, or I'm down to pass them off the next time. If you want, Nate, I'll let you run the deal on that. But
yeah, if anybody has specific questions, you want to pull up the MVP stuff, and we can kind of call it on that.
Yeah. Judge still at the top, but give me Bobby Witt Jr., Soto, Gunnar, J-Ram, Devers. I could use some Devers homers tonight, to be honest. I got him and O'Neill in the same lineup, trying to close out Rare All-Star. And then Shohei and Lindor. Oh my gosh, look at that, man. That's just... And then Ozuna up there. He's been cold. Marte, Jackson Merrill, man. What a stud.
Yep.
Ellie is amazing. Bryce Harper, he's on there too. Dude, it's insane. I was talking to my dad the other day about, he was just like, yeah, basically he's like, Ricky Henderson had double Ellie's stolen bases. And I was like, that just blows my mind. Yeah. Like I can't even imagine, dude. I feel like Ellie's always running.
Yep.
And Ricky was running twice as much.
Yep.
Can you imagine him in today's game?
That'd be so with smaller bags and no disengagement rules, like crazy.
Yeah, it would be nuts.
Yep. Here's a weird one that I was looking up the other day that I didn't realize. You know who the first player to have a 40-40 season was?
Give me a clue. What era?
Steroid era.
Barry.
Jose Canseco.
Oh.
Never would have guessed that.
Okay.
40-40. He was the first one to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Jose Canseco. Would not have thought that he had a 40-bag season. And he had multiple seasons with a lot of steals. Wouldn't have guessed it.
I mean, he had some big quads.
Yeah. Once he got moving, he was moving. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping we do see that 50-50 season, man. It's a incredible feat.
Dude, that would be crazy. I can't imagine. I told you this. I wanted to draft him. I had the second overall pick in my fantasy baseball league, which is a lot of guys in here, and it's such a fun league. It's super competitive. I had the second overall pick, and I was like, I just want to draft Shohei. I know he's not pitching this year, but like I just want him. And I took Mookie instead. Mookie was the right pick, but he was injured most of the season, and it was just 50-50. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Perfect fantasy player, man.
Yep.
All right. Squad, thank you for joining us here tonight. I know a lot of you were on Twitter or X, so shout out to you. We don't monitor the chat on Twitter, if there even is one, to be honest. Like, I am like rookie status when it comes to streaming on Twitter. So we're not ignoring you, but we're live in the YouTube chat. So join us there next time, or just watch on Twitter. We appreciate it either way. So thank you all for being here and liking our stuff and showing up tonight. I think this is a record attendance for us. So it was definitely a blast. This is our last planned episode of the entire season. We had set up a schedule of a few episodes when we were itching to get back into it. But, mark our words, it won't be our last. So we'll be back. There's nothing announced right now, but stay tuned and stay posted because, man, it's the best time of year to be a baseball fan. Congrats, guys. We made it.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Like Eric said, we will be doing something during the playoffs. Don't have a set date yet, but we will be talking about the championship chase. We will be back. Just haven't figured it quite out what we are going to do and when we're going to do it. But get in the Discord, follow the YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you posted.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Say your thing so I can end this thing.
Say my thing?
Yeah.
What's my thing?
Go Sox.
Go Sox.